So you've been dreaming about Bali. It's all over your vision board. You've been telling people that you want to go to Bali, and you now have the opportunity to get there. So you don't want to miss none of the $10 massages, nor do you want to miss the trips on the beach, the rice terrace, all the beautiful pictures that you can create right there in the jungle. Don't miss those opportunities because it's the best experience ever. But before you can get to Bali, there's some things you should know. So come with me and let's talk about it. All right, before you go sipping fresh coconut and walking on white sand beaches in Bali, there's some things that you need to know and prepare for your trip. All right, I want to talk about 5 things that you need to do before you even board the plane. The first thing that I want to talk about is making sure that you check for visa requirements. As a U.S. citizen, you do need a visa to enter Indonesia. So you can either do that online up to 7 days prior to departure, or you can do that as a visa on arrival. So once you get into the airport, you can actually apply through the visa and get your visa when you arrive. It's about $35, $35 depending on the currency exchange at the time. You save time if you do it online, and you also get to roll over to tip number 2. And tip number 2 is when you apply for the visa online, you actually apply for the AutoGate. Now, I have a child, and if you're traveling with a child, you're probably not going to be able to use AutoGate. You're going to go through the manual line where you just show them your passport, they stamp it, and you keep moving. If you can go through AutoGate, you will pre-register when you register for your visa, and all you have to do is go to the green line where you put your passport on the scanner, they scan it, and then allow you to enter. And easy peasy, right? All you have to do that. So if you don't want to stand in lines, you don't want to have to miss the auto gates, and you don't want to have to go to manual unless you have children, then you want to make sure you do the visa online where you pre-register. Otherwise, you will be doing a visa upon arrival. All right, so the third thing, tip number 3, that you need to have when you are going to Indonesia is that you have to complete a health pass. Now, COVID is over, but the restrictions have lifted, but they did not lift the restriction of the health pass. You still do need to complete that. It's pretty easy. You do it online. I think you can do it up to 3 days prior to your arrival. All you have to do is make certain that you say that you do not have any illnesses, you're not coughing, you don't have any fever, haven't been sick in the last few days. That's all that you need to do. You complete that, and then you'll get a QR code, and you'll present the QR code. Now, they didn't actually ask for my QR code, but you need to have that done 24 to 48 hours before your flight because it will register. So let's move on to tip number 4. Tip number 4 is your custom declaration. Now, if you don't want to be fumbling at or baggage claim, you can go ahead and complete this online as well. So it's easy peasy, and it's already completed for you, and you don't have to be trying to fill out anything online at the airport. So go online, you'll do a custom declaration. All of these things, or the sites URLs, will be in the description, so it'll be easy to find. I'll put all of the information down in the description. But fill out your custom declaration, And just saying you're not declaring anything, you don't have over 10,000 US dollars with you, and you should be easy. Now, when you complete that, they'll give you a QR code. You'll actually go through and they'll scan it, and then you walk out of the airport and you're pretty much done. But the last thing, tip number 5, that you need to have done before entering Indonesia is pay your Bali Tourism Levy. This is about 10 US dollars, and you just go online, complete the tourism levy. And basically this fee is supporting Bali tourism, the environment, and cultural stuff. So it's also considered like the beach tax, because most people are coming to Bali to either surf, sit on the beach, relax, or do some cultural excursions. And so this is just a way for them to supposedly upkeep the beaches. But during rainy season, that's a little suspect. However, after rainy season, this is funding helping the environment. So you do need to make sure you pay that as well, and then you'll be good to go. So those are the 5 things that I think that you need to prepare. Not only that do I think, but you do need to have done and completed before you walk out the airport. So all right, so those are the 5 things that you need to do before heading to Bali, so that you don't get stuck in immigrations or end up paying unexpected fees. Trust me, you don't want to do any of those things. You want to spend your time relaxing on the beach, drinking fresh coconuts, and having you a good old time, because Bali is all the vibe, and it's just breathtaking. But if you can't get on the other side of the airport and out the doors, then it's a waste of time. So hassle-free, making sure that you have all your documents completed. And a lot of these can be completed before you even leave your home country. If you are a U.S. citizen, you do need to get a visa. That visa is about $35, right? $35. You will need to pay for the $9 levy. The customs form, you don't pay anything. You just fill that out. But I hope that this information helps. I know a lot of people are trying to get to Bali, and oftentimes you don't know what information you need for that particular airport or that particular country to enter. So hopefully this helps you. If you love this information, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and comment. This is a community. I want to connect with you. Let me know if this helped. Put down in the comments, thank you, this helped. That way I know that I'm actually creating content that actually will help you as you travel and see this world. Yeah, also let me know, like, what are you doing in Bali? What do you plan for your trip? I actually loved taking my beautiful pictures on the swing and going to the waterfall. Those were the highlights of my actual trip to Bali. But I love to know what you plan on doing and what your highlights are going to be. So again, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, you make sure that you find your flow, follow your freedom, and drift deep. Until next time, I'm Cha Jones. Okay, I do want to add a bonus tip to this video because I think it's important. Oftentimes people don't think about this. If you're traveling abroad, you want to make sure you have WhatsApp, right? WhatsApp can be used as long as you have data and or you have a Wi-Fi. Now, when you walk out of the airport, you're going to have all these people bombarding you, asking if you need a taxi or if you need a SIM card. Get you a SIM card. Even if you have free data or data in your package that will allow you to use data, because oftentimes that data is spotty at best. And if you need to make a phone call, you will be able to make a phone call. Getting a SIM card for 30 days is about $10 to $15. Go ahead and get it. It's worth it. If you have an eSIM card, then you don't necessarily need the card, but you will need to register to get the eSIM, and they'll set all of that up for you. You won't have a problem before you leave the airport. Now, I will say this for those who are coming from America, because I can't speak for any other countries, but I know because I had a client who came all the way to Malaysia, and she had a brand new Apple phone. She was not able to get an eSIM card because her phone is locked. If you still are paying off your phone, you will not be able to get a SIM card oftentimes because the phone is locked through your provider. So make sure you think about that before you move or travel abroad on vacation, because it makes it a little bit difficult. You don't want to rack up a whole lot of phone bills for data charges or roaming charges and or making phone calls. If you get a SIM when you arrive, then it makes it a lot easier. That is my tip. Thank you. Just want to go ahead and share that with you. Again, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.